Blessing Sacred Space community. This is Sacred Wisdom. Thank you for tuning in every Wednesday. Thank you for your love and support. Make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube station, the Sacred Space community. You can also catch us on Wednesdays on IGTV. Make sure you subscribe to the website, www.thesacredspace.network, so you can stay up to date with everything that we have going on that is ultimately sacred. This Wednesday, I want to focus on how you feel about yourself. How you feel about yourself manifests itself on the outside. It shows up and it spills over into every area of your life. Mind, body, soul, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, energetically, financially. How you feel from here protrudes itself out. So last week, I made a post about how much weight I had lost, and people were like, what exercise regimen are you doing? What foods are you eating? You know, how did you go from 220 to 197 a year ago? My goal weight was 170, and I'm currently at 150. And let me be honest with you guys, it's been a roller coaster. It's been up and down. I've lost the weight. I've picked it back up. I've lost the weight. I've picked it back up. I was on a regimen. I wasn't on a regimen. I was at the gym every day. I wasn't at the gym every day. Now I'm exercising at home. And what I will tell you in this last year is that weight loss has been about self-care. Weight loss has been about self-esteem. Weight loss has been about self-worth. Weight loss has been about self-love. How am I taking care of myself? How do I feel about myself? When I hit 170, I was expecting to look and feel like I was 21 years old again, because that's the last time that I had weighed 170. Well, 170 at 21 and 170 at 39 is like a totally different body image, right? And so that really was a wake-up call for me to figure out, okay, so I'm not happy. I'm not satisfied. My body doesn't look the way that I thought it was going to look at 170. I'm older. I'm carrying weight in my belly that has more to do with trauma, more to do with molestation, more to do with the pain that I was holding on to in my womb than it really had to do with weight. And of course, everybody's experience is different. This is my experience. And if you can connect to it, if it resonates in your spirit, awesome. If it doesn't, it's okay. You will meet somebody along your journey and you will be able to spiritually, mentally, and emotionally connect to and identify with their journey to grab the gems that you need for your own life, right? But for me, the weight was a barrier that I had created around myself in order to protect myself. And then I was in a very mentally and abusive relationship where this person used to ridicule me when I would lose weight. He needed me to be insecure, on top of the insecurities that already were there for me, on top of the baggage that I was already carrying before I met him. It was just like an overdose of low self-esteem, an overdose of low self-worth, feeling unloved, feeling unprotected. And so this weight was a way for me to hide from the rest of the world. I carried a lot of weight, and I still carry some weight in my belly. I know that it has everything to do with the trauma that has occurred over the years in my womb, being violated, being sexually violated. It's not uncommon for women who have been sexually violated to gain weight in an effort to not look attractive, to not feel attractive, to not draw in any attention from men, right? And so I really had to get honest about the weight loss and how it was so much more about how I felt about myself. It was so much more about my confidence and my self-esteem and my self-worth than it was about being on a regimen. I don't deprive my body. I allow myself to, if I'm feeling an urge to eat something, I eat that, and I don't beat myself up about it. If I don't make it to the gym that day, I don't make it to the gym that day. I get my ass up, and the next day I work out, or the next day I make an effort to do better, because the more that I lose weight, if I'm not working on my self-esteem, if I'm not working on my self-worth, if I'm not working on how I feel internally, the weight loss doesn't matter. And that's why you can see people yo-yo up and down, or they, have these surgeries and they lose a ton of weight, but they're still insecure. They still behave as though they're fat because mentally that's where they're at. So you really have to get to the root of, why do I feel the way that I feel? When I eat, why am I eating? Am I using the food as a coping mechanism? Am I hiding behind the food? Am I hiding behind the weight? You have to get to the origin of why you feel the way that you feel about yourself, and the coping mechanisms that you have used in order to numb or disregard or dismiss your emotions. And so it's definitely one of those things where it's a journey, and it's a journey to self. And you have to get honest. And you have to get honest about how you got to a place of being overweight, how you got to a place of feeling unloved, how you got to a place of low self-esteem and lack of confidence. And if you can't get honest about how you got there, you're not going to be able to shed the weight. And another thing I will say is, once you begin to release people, places, situations from your life that don't serve your highest good, a lot of that weight is emotional weight, and it will come off of you. You will shed it without even trying. And then another aspect of that weight is the toxins that you've had in your body. And that's, from a health side, you have to get rid of the toxins and the poison in your body. Obviously through water and green vegetables is a great way to do so. I am not an advocate for taking things that will expedite the weight loss, because the weight loss is about emotions. It's about being spiritually connected to your body. It's about being mentally sound. It's about how you physically feel. It's really not about, let me hurry up and lose 30 pounds by taking detox teas, and you haven't addressed the internal, what is your internal state of mind and being, mind, body, spirit. And the detox teas don't address that. Going to the gym doesn't address that. You have to really get with yourself and figure out how you got to this place in your life, current day, no matter what that is, good, bad, ugly, and or different. How did I get here? How did I get to a place where I forgot about me? How did I get to a place where I was losing me and loving them, to the point where you wake up one day and you see yourself and you don't even recognize yourself anymore? That is what weight loss is about. Rediscovering who you are. And the more that you rediscover who you are, the better you feel about yourself, and you will be much more mindful of what you put into your body. You will be much more mindful of what you put into your spirit, because you have to nourish your mind, your body, and your spirit. You will be more mindful of who you allow in your presence. And those things matter. They matter. They matter. They absolutely matter. So I want you to get up today and take the opportunity to really focus on, how did I get here? And ask yourself those hard questions that maybe you're ashamed to have conversation about with other people. And once you have an honest assessment about how you got here, then you can actually do something about it. This is Sacred Wisdom. Make sure you guys tune in every Wednesday on IGTV as well as YouTube for another episode of Sacred Wisdom.